Warning. Parts of this review will include spoilers. If you do not want to get spoiled, you can use the timestamps and the chapters of the video to watch the parts without them. Enjoy. Hello everyone, Jainimations here, and welcome to the first segment of JAI Reviews. And today, we'll be reviewing the highly anticipated sequel, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, that arrives to us after the surprising success of the first movie, whose rollout was a complete wild ride. From being clowned by the entire internet due to a horrifying first design, to it being delayed, redesigned, and met with a surprisingly positive reaction by both fans and casuals when released. Now, like I imagine many others, expected the movie to be a complete dumpster fire, but was pleasantly surprised because the movie was actually pretty good. Sure, it was a little generic at points, but cringy moments aside, I found it to be way funnier, exciting, and filled with heart than I ever expected. While I didn't care much for Sonic's voice, he had a very fun and infectious quality to him, the supporting cast was pretty solid, especially Jim Carrey as Robotnik, and as a Sonic fan, I appreciated all the little references, details, and subtle nods to the franchise. So it's safe to call the first movie a success, but how does the sequel compare? Well, in my opinion, the second movie improves on the first movie on every single aspect. The movie starts with Eggman trying to escape from the mushroom planet he was sent to after his last battle with Sonic. He manages to make a machine with one of Sonic's quills that will make an explosion big enough to catch the attention of other planets. After that, Knuckles comes to see how he got Sonic's energy, who he actually doesn't like, due to a rivalry that was over the Master Emerald between his clan and the Owl clan, who Longclaw, aka the same owl that took care of Sonic, was a part of. So, Knuckles saves Eggman and the two team up to find the Master Emerald that was actually hidden on Earth. And let me just say, I love how Knuckles was written in this movie. I go as far as to say he was my favorite character, which was definitely a surprise. Knuckles has been written in many different ways over the years, from being serious, to being dumb, to being serious again. But here, they really nailed his character. He was really serious all the time, but he was just unintentionally hilarious given how little he understood about humor, about Earth's technology, and just emotions in general. And it led to some of the funniest moments in the film. I also love how they made him pretty respectful and nice, especially when he slowly realizes how Sonic is actually a good person and starts suspecting Eggman. Just some fantastic writing on Knuckles in this movie, and was brought to life by Idris Elba, who actually sounded really cool. Meanwhile, Sonic is using his powers to protect the Earth, or in other words, being totally reckless and causing a ton of collateral damage. Your enjoyment of Sonic will really depend if you enjoyed him in the first film or not. He still is energetic, fun, and over the top, but a bit more confident this time around. Not as overconfident as he is in the games, but close. I personally really like Sonic's interpretation in this movie, even if sometimes his jokes don't land. There's also a wedding going on in Hawaii between Rachel and this guy called Randall, who's actually a GUN agent undercover, yes, that GUN, that Tom and Maddie attend, leaving Sonic alone to take care of the house. Which was a very wise choice. What could possibly go wrong? The human characters sort of take a backseat in this movie, which I think is a good thing because it gives the Sonic characters more time to shine, but every time the human characters appear, it was way more entertaining than they were in the first movie. I found the wedding scenes to be pretty funny, especially when Rachel found out the truth about Randall and had that badass scene with the golf cart. Also later on when Rachel and Maddie used Tails' gadgets to beat the GUN guards was pretty funny, but I digress. While Sonic is busy destroying the house, Tails, who had been watching Sonic all along, which is arguably a bit creepy, arrives to warn him about Knuckles. The two face off with Eggman and Knuckles in the house, and go on a quest to find the Master Emerald first after Sonic sees a message left by Longclaw. And that's pretty much the gist of the movie. They travel through different locations using Sonic's rings in order to find the emerald. Eventually, Eggman betrays Knuckles by harnessing the power of the Master Emerald for himself, which gives him the ability to transform thoughts into reality. And of course, being the lunatic he is, his first thought is to create a giant robot. Oh my god, that looks scary. Knuckles, after realizing he's been played, joins Sonic and Tails in order to beat Eggman and save the day. And let me just say, seeing Team Sonic on the big screen put a huge smile to my face, and it was everything I wanted it to be. One of my biggest worries coming into this movie was that they would push Tails to the side, make him a complete coward, like in some recent games, and just focus on Knuckles and Sonic. But thankfully, that wasn't the case, because Tails was actually handled really well, and got plenty of screen time. Obviously, Colleen did great, she's been voicing him for years, but he was actually written well this time for a change. His interactions with Sonic were all great, they had a ton of chemistry, and it led to some of the most endearing moments on the movie. This was the first time he ever met Sonic, so it's normal he was a bit scared at points, but at the end he got involved in the fight and was more sure of himself. Maybe the video game version could learn a few things from him. I also thought his gadgets were pretty cool, especially the one that could make him multiply. Obviously, I couldn't go on with this review without mentioning Sonic turning super with the 7 Chaos Emeralds that were inside the Master Emerald for some reason and were the size of marbles. It was a really cool moment, and seeing Super Sonic have importance in the plot after so long was a treat. The post-credit scene with Shadow was also awesome, and I'm really curious to see if they're going to dive into Shadow's origin just like in the games. Like, are we gonna see Gerald, Robotnik, and Maria? Only time will tell. So yeah, not only is this movie very well written, paced, looks phenomenal, but it is also a complete love letter to the Sonic's fans given how close it follows the source material, the number of references and Easter eggs sprinkled in this movie. If you're a Sonic fan, you'll be geeking all over all the stuff you will notice throughout the movie, and if you're not, you will probably still have a blast. It's just Sonic done right, given how it manages to please fans and casual watchers. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles were all fantastically written and have a ton of chemistry. Jim Carrey also brings his A-game with Eggman, who was even crazier than he was on the first movie. All of the scenes with Agent Stone were great too. The human characters are also funnier than they were in the first movie. It's definitely a big improvement from the last film, that was already pretty good. All that being said, this movie isn't free of similar issues that carry from the first one. Even if it's a kid movie, a few of the jokes and scenes were a bit too cheesy for their own good, like Eggman becoming the first person to floss in 2022, a little too many fart jokes, Tails' translator randomly malfunctioning and saying random offensive stuff for no reason, the dance-off scene to Uptown Funk. Well, at least we got to see Sonic hitting the SA1 pose in that scene. But still, there are way more jokes that are actually funny than cringy ones, and there are less eyebrow-raising moments in this movie than there were on the first one, which is definitely a good thing. So overall, Sonic Movie 2 is not only more faithful to the source material, but it is also just a very well-written movie, and even if you're not a Sonic fan, you'll probably still have a lot of fun with this. Sure, you might catch a handful of eyebrow-raising jokes, but it is still a major improvement over the first film, and when it comes to video game movies, it does not get much better than this. I am feeling a very strong 8 to a 9 on this movie. So that was it for my review. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you agree. Let me know what you would rate the movie out of 10 in the comments. I will also try to do more reviews like this on other forms of media. Obviously, this is only my opinion. So yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on Twitter and TikTok, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.